Hey, and we are live again. Welcome
Yeah.
back to BK42 Kustom Cycles podcast number 14. I'm BK42 speaking from Poland, and in the other side of my screen is my dear friend Mike Makey Brittan on his mobile studio somewhere in Spain. I have no idea where, but he's in Spain for sure. How are you, man? How are you doing?
All right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is becoming a little bit more of a mobile studio. Yes, and this week for me, at least personally, things have moved in the way of my kind of personal life with all the systems I've gotten. I've been waiting for months over the whole winter for like parts to come in. I got like crazy projects that needed like parts. I've been waiting like 3 months for some of these things like batteries and oh man. So it's been this week. I literally yesterday or this morning I picked up the final bits of all the puzzles. So like now I got all the bits and it's all ready. So this week coming up, watch out, you guys. It's gonna be like a revolution.
Yeah, and I see you got some really cool lights there now. It's looking like a real studio, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
That's
awesome.
what
Looking,
sort of. I haven't
and
got to
we
the
are,
real studio.
yeah, it's moving, it's moving. We got our friends already arriving in our pub. We
Hey,
have
what's
Guido.
up, Thomas? Hey, yeah, what's up, Guido? Hey, how's it going, guys? Nice to see you guys coming in. Bicycle Trust, what's up? Oh yeah.
Yeah, our friends are
That's right. Yeah.
arriving. Yeah. All right, man. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk this night, this evening. We have very nice bikes, an amazing builder is just waiting to get in the show with us. And I think we can start talking about our Russian friend. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to talk. But I can I mention a couple of notes before we get
Go
into our
ahead, man.
feature?
Of course.
Yeah, yes. Um, there's a couple of things I seen over the last week that completely just I just have to make a note for it because this is every week we're gonna meet. And this week, if you guys haven't followed, there's a big Spanish competition. It's a national competition, and like really some of the most talented, I mean, really our best, and really the Spanish custom bike scene is strong, right? And you're gonna see some amazing bikes coming out of there. And this week I saw one. It was like a lowrider, and it was wicked, right? It was so damn wicked. I mean, I don't know if we're going to have it up there, but La Bici Nostra, which is they have their own group page, so look it up. La Bici Nostra it's a Spanish competition, and they're throwing out like all their sneaky peeks right now. They're throwing. I mean, they've had their drawings and they put it out there, but like there are some stuff that's going to come out. This Raul Ceballos, I don't know if you guys know, but he's got one of my favorite trikes of all time. He's coming out right there. There's Raul. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know if you got that picture, but look at the front of that end. That front end, he's building like another leaning trike. All right. He's been known for, and like I just fabbed this up right now, right? And he's doing square tubing because he did it out of round tubing, I think, before, but he's doing this out of a square diamond profile. So that one's gonna come out amazing. You gotta check that one out.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy cool. All right, these guys. Now, if you're gonna see some of this stuff, now this guy, he thinks. I mean, he's at this point. You might say, "Oh, look at he's almost there," and the competition ends in about a month, and he thinks what he's going to do to it, he's not going to have enough time to do it, right? So he says
Yeah.
like he thinks he's already feeling like he's not going to do it. So you imagine now that's where he's starting from, and he thinks he's still not going to finish a month from now, and he's got so much stuff he wants to do on it. So it's going to be interesting, that one too, huh?
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, here's the front from Raul.
Oh yeah, look at that one.
Yeah.
It's a leaning trike profile. You can see that. That's what he was known for, was his previous trike from a rough. He converted I think a rough Tango, and he
Yeah.
turned
The
it
white
into,
one, right? That white
yeah, the
one.
white one. We featured it in the trikes, our
Right.
trike features. Yeah, that there's a, I don't want to just point out to him, but like all of these guys have got something going on. Um, I mean, this is, I mean, their output. You guys are going to see some really high
Oh,
quality
this is
builds. Like this is the one I'm talking about. that showed up. I don't know if you got some more pictures of this,
Yeah,
but this
I
came
think
out and blew
it
my
could be
mind.
here.
Such a lowrider, cool ass lowrider one. I don't know if you it
I'm trying to get from
but he did it out of skull. He matter of fact, this guy, you'll maybe if you bring it up, you'll see
just
that
a
he's
second.
the before picture and then the after. And yeah, maybe I shouldn't talk about it yet, but this 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 creation, it blew my mind. That's why I'm kind of feeling like um yeah, this is where you get into, right? So this guy it doesn't even have a workshop, right? So
No.
he's using the skills he has. And I think he's a tattoo artist, right? I think he's a tattoo artist. Um, but he's, yeah, look at this one. Look at this thing, right? Like a low rider. I mean, this is kind of
And where is
something
it made?
different.
Is Mexico something like that?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
made.
it's like the Muerto stuff, right? I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called
Couto.
a culto. Yeah, it's
Couto.
culto. Yeah, that's right. I mean, this one, he took a frame. You might even see what the frame looked like, and he just kind of, you know, customized it. Right? This is like, I mean, he did the frame and everything, but this is like a real customized kind of theme thing. You know, I didn't get to the details of things. I thought it was pretty cool, and that should come out.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
This
So
one.
if you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
see that, that was the before, right? And then
Right.
that's what I mean. If you're looking at that, and then look what it came out to, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that these guys are
Correct.
putting a lot of effort into this build off, and these guys are really, and they know they're going to be on show, so they're trying their best too, right? And they're all very competitive too, and they're a good group of lads. I get about, I don't know, about 200 messages on my WhatsApp a day from these guys. So I mean, they're talking to each other all the time, man. So this is going to be a good
That's awesome.
competition. Keep your eyes out for that one.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So
So
yeah,
okay.
well, now that I guess we've mentioned about BC Nostra, I did want to throw them some light because they are really serious about it. But like this guy, uh, our next feature, maybe you guys in the US have heard about him, or maybe not. Maybe you've kind of seen, but I think you guys have seen his work, and I think you need to see more of his work. This guy, he's from Russia. I believe he's from St. Petersburg. His name is Anton Korotkov, and
Korotkov.
that's right, yeah, Korotkov, yeah, and he is very involved with the KGB scene in Russia. He's and if you guys don't know what the KGB is, it's
It's better to
basically,
clarify.
yeah, the
KGB in
KGB is,
Russia.
yeah, KGB, just like they had the FBI in Amsterdam. The Russians came up with their equivalent. They actually went to one of the FBI's in Amsterdam, one of the early ones, and they came home and started the custom groove bike event. So this bike event is probably the second longest running custom bike event in the world. So this guy, he's had his hand in all these bikes that BK is showing you right now. He's had his hand in it, and he's had his head in some of them, right? And he's pretty much the master fabricator of these guys here. If you mention his name's probably attached to most of the newest builds that are out there right now, and so a lot of the great builds that are out there. And I've seen his name keep getting attached to a lot of great work. I mean, if you could see, the styles are so different too. On some of them, you can make out and say, "Oh, there's a style there," but then like he does crazy like sissy bars like that, and that sissy bar is like, wow, all right, let's throw that in there. So it is, I believe, quite, he's very artistic, and I like that in custom bikes. I think people need to experiment a little bit. It looks like that was a copper seat. If I did with it right, look at that fork.
Yeah.
I mean that's sweet ass fork too. I'm just making whatever. Everything should be customized, and I think this guy, and then throw your own style and your own artwork. And he's like an artist or tattoo artist or not. No, I'm sorry. We're not talking about Antov. I'm sorry. But this guy is quite an artist with his styling and his head. I mean, there is a lot of wicked ideas he has in there.
Oh,
And
that's the Russian bike with
oh, look at this!
Russian
Look at the
sun.
pedals,
Yeah,
you guys! Look at the pedals! Look at it! I don't
yeah.
know.
Look,
I want a pair of those. I want one.
uh,
That is so cool, man. That was this guy. This bike is amazing, right? Look at this bike. I mean, there's a few mixes of things going on there, but I think it's beautiful, right? I mean, super low. It's a tail dragger. The body of the frame is unique. It's got some nice. I
oh,
mean, it's a curvy, pointy style, but like this thing is really hot.
Lenin is there.
Lenin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lenin is in there. Oh my God. Jeez.
They have very nice
Yeah. So
shows
this is.
in Russia.
Oh, that's
Bike
awesome.
shows.
Yeah. This one they have the KGB is like their biggest one,
Look
right?
at
And
that.
this one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, look how many bikes are there.
That's right.
It's
This
huge.
is a big deal, huh? Look how many bikes and these are like the best, the cream of the crop here, man. So if you would really want to see if you guys check out the Russian scene, man. This thing, and you're gonna see some more. This is part of Antom's. But we featured another a Russian last week too. So it's not something that this, and there will be a lot of them because there are a big scene out there, and they still very well organized. They meet every year. I think it's in Moscow, the KGB. Custom Groove Bike, just in case you guys forget what that. And
Oh,
they
another
they
video.
kind of fashioned it after the FBI and started their own back in Russia. So this guy, Anton, I don't know if you've seen. I mean, this guy's work is next level stuff, man. He goes. There's just as much proficient. I think he's got some of his and he touches pretty much everything. Some fork designs. I suppose he was getting into
Very
some.
unique.
I mean, that's more classic style. But I mean, you look at it. It's using the square tubing. He's adding a few bits, but the
Yeah.
classic Springer there. I think the work is done really well. The dropouts and pieces like that. But yeah, all right. They got custom forks out there, and this guy's probably the one that produces more in this scene. Putting out more things that he's touched. Than nearly anybody else out there. But you know what? It's I can't say that for it all because I keep seeing more things coming out of Russia and the Ukraine, and guys are still active, and people are sitting in their workshops all through this quarantine. Look at that, and go back to that. I think that's a sissy bar, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
it is.
so that one's really interesting. I looked at that one too. I mean, throwing in some of your personal style into something and making it, come out. I mean, wow, yeah, it is a sissy bar, right? Yeah, yeah. It looks like
Yeah, it is.
and I
It
think
would be
it's that
nice.
one that we thought. Yeah, that's cool. So I mean, if you're gonna go sissy bars, I mean, look at that. Now, make some art out of it, man, because that thing's gonna be standing out. It better look good,
Oh,
man.
look. Oh,
Oh
the
yeah.
detail is amazing.
Oh
Detail.
man. Oh yeah. Look at me. It's just all these little details he does here. But forget about just getting pedals on. Let's
Right.
let's.
Oh, there we are back for that one.
Oh yeah. That one is a.
Yeah, his frame.
Uh,
It's a kind of a
yeah, I think
motorcycle frame.
yeah, it looks like a motorcycle frame to me. Yeah, I was gonna say I like his little turntable though. We need to get one of
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
man.
Oh, then there he is building. Yeah, it's a motorcycle, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's doing it all right there, and with
Well,
the
it will
nice
be
pro
very.
workshop.
Yeah, it will be very interesting as well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And it's very nice when we have videos to show, like showing the real work. Oh,
It
really nice
is.
bike.
He's got. I mean, he does. I want to make something clear. He does have people that help him out, and he's not. He's not like he's humbled. He humbled him, by saying that there are people all around. He has people that are in there, but he'd like to say that he's like more of the like kind of designer. He's kind of the guy that you want to go to him for building your stuff because he's definitely a good fabricator, as you can see. But he also got the head, so people are going to him because they want his style. I mean, people are going to ask, just like any builder, that hey, can you make me? You're a good builder. Can you make somebody else's bike for me? You know, that I respect that like people have their own style, and when you go to them, you could say, hey, you know what, I like that, but you're gonna have to do it in like so that this builder style, and I think he's kind of kept that, you know, like his theme. He said like, all right, you want a cruiser, and then we're gonna throw this like wicked, you know, sissy bar on the back, right? We're just gonna throw something wicked. We're not gonna let you go out of here with the.
And
So
he
I could
loves
see
CC bars. I can see.
the what?
Oh, he really likes CC bars.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah,
they're
look at
really something. I love sissy bars too, man. I put them on my bike.
that. Oh, look at
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
yeah,
them. Because
yeah.
you know what's cool about sissy bars? They're not only functional and beautiful. I mean, they've kind of do things like they stand out. And I think I use my sissy bar as an amazing, cool ass way to tow your bike. Like when we had people break down on their bike, we just hooked it onto this like the sissy bar, and it carried the bike. So it was like a little tow truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't our intention to make a towage, but it could.
It
It
worked. Yeah.
worked really well. So anybody's out there, a little tow truck bike, man, especially those bikes are on events, they break down. It's one way to get like a bike home and not have them, stranded. So anyways, look at that, man. What's that?
Yeah. Also, man, this is
Yeah,
amazing.
he's crazy into that kind of organic stuff, man.
Really
Oh
hope to
yeah.
see more. Could be
Oh
nice
yeah, this is
to bring
oh
him in the
yeah,
show if he likes someday. Join us live. I don't know how his English is, but if he wanna join us, will be nice as well.
I mean, this is his latest build. I saw him. He just put
Right.
this up recently, and this is a woman's build, a lady's build.
Mhm.
So here's his representation of his a lady's bike, which I think is kind of interesting, right? It looks
Yeah.
like, I think it's quite unique in some sense,
Yeah. Yeah. It is indeed. All right.
Yeah.
So that's Anton Korotkov.
Well,
If it,
Anton, yeah,
yeah,
Anton
if
Korotkov, amazing builder, right, BK?
all right, if our viewers want to find him, here's his Facebook. You can find a lot of information, and I couldn't find him on Instagram, but on Facebook it's very easy to find him and get in touch. Just share some love with him. So what do we
Yeah,
have now?
well, I just want to take a word. Thank you very much, Anton. If you've come into the show and joined us, your work is amazing. I see the influences you've had. Keep the good work going, man. Really, with guys like you touching, helping everybody out, getting their dreams out, because you're really building people's dream bikes, right? And that's what we do. So great job, man. And see you next, man. I hope to find you out in the custom bike universe, man. Maybe sometime, huh?
Oh yeah, great, great.
So So we get should we bring in our next the main guest of the show,
Yeah, I
because
think
I
it's
yeah
time, no? Yeah,
yeah
it's
yeah
about
I
time.
yeah I want to just make a quick intro. Now this guy, maybe not a lot of people have heard him in our scene in the last years, but like I'm sure like most of the veterans know this guy's name. I'm sure people in the bike business know him. This guy has also been very much the sort of background that kind of, you would be surprised how much he's influenced you and the bike scene, the custom bike scene. You didn't even know, but like this guy not only has like a wealth of experience in the back and in the bicycle industry, he's kind of been involved with a lot of other things. And the more I keep talking to this guy, the more things like sort of pop out and they're quite interesting. So, well, I hope that you'll be able to see some of this stuff, and you'll be able to see where this guy, at least in the custom bike world, Gary Hoisington, he's been the fat designer for at least I think the last 10 years they've been in the business, and he spent also the last couple of years, a few years ago, working with Micargi, and you've seen the sort of styling that changed in the last few years with Micargi. So he was quite an influence there, and he also was the influence behind all those really cool fat bikes that came out, like the Super Stretch and stuff. So he'll tell you about them. But anyways, I think we should bring him out, and let's just have a chat with him. So whenever you're ready,
All
Roll
right,
it,
here we
BK.
go. Hey,
Hey, Gary, what's
hey,
up,
Gary.
man? All
Not much. How about
right.
you? Can you hear
Hey,
me?
man.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to see you,
Good.
man. We can hear you very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Nice sunny day here in Southern California.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
oh
that's
yeah.
good.
That's he said it was like bad time. It's like midday over there, you know?
Yeah.
And a sunny day. It's probably like 72 degrees or something, right? Something ridiculous like that.
It's nice today. It's supposed to rain a little bit tomorrow, but it's nice today. It's nice and sunny and beautiful. And I live at the
Fantastic.
beach too, so that adds to it.
And not just the beach. You live in Huntington Beach, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Oh man, that's like one of my favorite beaches when I used to live in LA. But anyways,
Where a lot of
I
it
know
started.
I love that beach. Hey Gary, I've noticed all that stuff. I don't want to get into all that kind of, but like me, I like to carry posters and things that mean just something to me. And I noticed on your walls that you have things, and I just wanted to make a point first before you describe anything. Is like I I want to make point that there's a reason why I put posters up on my wall. I think I put it since I was like a little kid. I think we all did when we were little kids, putting posters. And I had like
Farrah
a
Fawcett?
hot
Did you
rod
have
one.
Farrah Fawcett?
That's right. Yes. So we all putting stuff. And I noticed your wall, and it's got to be meaning something. All those things behind you, right?
All of those things have meaning, yeah, but there's so much more that I don't have enough walls.
Well, those got to be pretty special then, right?
I just don't change things very often. Some of them have been up there long enough to fade out.
Oh yeah. Hey, Gary, just to get some people familiar with you, as far as let's get them into like the custom bike world, and how I like I mentioned, like how you've already kind of influenced a lot of the scene already through the bikes that you help design, and like the fat bicycles, and also just recently the Micargis, and like the cool Micargis. Like they've been coming out with some pretty cool stuff in the last few years, and if you had your hand in it, that was really cool stuff. So can you tell us anything about your, I guess the last 20 years of this kind of a fat and Micargi experience?
I worked with Fat for 10 years. Designed all of the bikes in the Fat line are my designs. And then
Wow.
some of the early bikes that I designed for Fat that we never got built, drawings were sent to Micargi. So even some of the early Micargi bikes are my designs, even before I was working for Micargi. Fat Cycles, that's the Royal Dutch there. That's a
oh yeah, that's the Royal Dutch. You mean
yeah.
that was the one that went to Micargi?
Yeah, that's that was a pretty successful bike, but it really surprised me that nobody understood what Royal Dutch meant. When I was a kid, the way I came up with this name was, the bike is trouble. And when I was in trouble when I was a kid, everybody would say, "Boy, you're in Dutch Royal now." So Dutch Royal, Royal Dutch, it made a lot of sense.
It's a cool name.
Trouble.
It's a cool name, anyways, because I mean, it's a cool name. You did some tandems, I suppose, yeah.
That one, not so much. That one was pretty much a off-the-shelf tandem frame. But the Fat tandem, the newest Fat tandem, I did that one from the ground up, and that turned out to be a really nice bike. It was called the Longboard.
Oh, right. You got that pic?
These are all the Micargi bikes. Go to the Fat folder.
Yeah, that's Micargi. Yeah, like a Falcon or something like that. I forget what they called them. Yeah.
Those bikes are actually bikes that I designed for Fat that became
yeah, with the
Micargi
tank.
because Fat never had it built at Micargi. I gave the designs to Micargi to build them for Fat, and then Fat never followed through on that particular order. So Micargi just picked it up and started making it. But that is actually my design from a long, long time ago.
Oh yeah, I bought
that design is actually about 17 years old.
Oh.
Wow.
Gary,
yes,
we have a lot of viewers who come here because they want to start to build their first bike, their first own bike, and a lot of them are already building their bikes. And it will be interesting to hear from you. How is your designing process? How it starts? You use any kind of application? You draw the bikes by hand? How is your process?
I started out with just Adobe Illustrator, just drawing a bike and telling the factory to make it. And then ultimately I became a default engineer. I learned all the engineering software that they used in China and started using that. And then I got into the 3D software. And
like
while
SolidWorks?
Fat, I was using 3D software, to render this stuff in real life. In fact, I think in one of the Fat files, you'll see some of those 3D renderings. But my philosophy, I think, is far more important than how I did it. My philosophy was I didn't make these bikes to be the final product. I made them so they could be the final product, but they were more a base, a canvas for the builder so that they, like that bike you're showing right now. Nobody wants to have Micargi plastered all over their bike like that. They want something special. But that panel was designed to be something special for the end user to actually take that panel and turn it into something that they want. Put some art on it, do something that all the stickers were easily removed, and you could turn it into whatever you wanted to turn it into. I sold billboards, empty blank billboards is what I sold.
Oh yeah, or canvas, like a white canvas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, do you have? These are all the Micargi bikes. Do you not have his
there's
file?
There's a folder that says Fat.
Yeah, because you're just going through all his Micargi ones there, and
I think the most interesting stuff is my personal folder and your Fat folder there.
That's
In addition
to
designing that bike, I actually designed that poster.
Oh yeah, that's the. I can see it now. It's much more clearer now. Oh, I know that. That's the other bike we're talking about. That was called what was that one called again?
That was my favorite of all the Fat bikes that we did. That was the X-rated in the alloy frame. Yeah. We sold it in alloy and in steel.
That's right. That's right.
And that one has probably been modified, not just artistically, but mechanically by more people more often than any other bike. I've seen some really, really cool. In fact, if you go to an image in that folder called Fat Kustom, you'll see one of the modifications that they did that a consumer, an end user did. It'll be an image, not a catalog page. Should say Fat Kustom. There you go.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty.
See, they've taken those tubes, the tubes that used to come from the rear dropout used to curve and go down to the down tube. Well, they've taken those and blended those into the top tube on that thing. And then they put these wild fenders on it and stuff. That was one of my favorite conversions that people did to those bikes.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people did that.
I mean, how long was that model out for?
That's really what I intended for all those bikes was, take it and make it your own.
That's right. Your experience is like you wanted to build a bike that generally is going to be right. You're not making one-offs, right? You want to make a bike that people can do something with as well, right? If you're going to make copies of it, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Some of our tank bikes.
Oh yeah.
That actually has that big fat 3D tank on it.
Yeah, that has the fat tank on it. Yeah, that's right.
Same tank that's on the stretch and the super stretch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean the stretch and the super stretch, yeah, they're really good ones. Um, I mean, really, because of your kind of creative vision, we've got this really nice fodder, that custom fodder that we've been able to customize, and that's really cool that we could see that where all the styling been coming from.
There's a good looking picture. That's
Yeah,
the prototype for the super stretch.
Oh yeah, I could see the big 3D tank on that one. Yeah, starting to get stretched on that one.
And me riding in bare feet.
Oh man, I hope you don't have any bear claws on there.
Actually, I think that one did have bear claws. That type. It had a spiked pedal of some kind.
Hey, hey Gary, you're giving me a couple of things I wanted to. We had a chat earlier in the week because yeah, I have to write some notes down just to remember a couple of interesting stories that you told me about. And one of the interesting stories, which is related in our scene, is your connections with all these people in our scene, right? Like Robert Bellier. He's probably one of the bigger connections because everybody knows him in our scene, and he used to you had a connection with him, right?
Well, I think Robert Bellier and I have known each other for a long time. Back in the 80s, after I left Specialized Bicycles, I opened my own bike shop, and he would come into the store and he was building these crazy long bikes, and I thought he was nuts. They were cool, but I thought there's no way anybody's going to buy these things. And boy, was I wrong. Over the years, he and I have worked on several projects together. We built the 4-man bike at Disneyland. He built the frame, and I built the bike. We built
really? Wow.
For TV shows. We've built bikes for commercials. I've got one 4-man bike that has actually worked in more TV shows than most extras have worked. How I Met Your Mother. It's been in music videos. That's the one for Disneyland right there. We built two.
It's like 3-passenger, 4-passenger?
Four passenger. It's for the Dapper Dans. It's a barbershop quartet that rides singing. But
that's cool.
He and I have built at least 4 4-man bikes. And he actually built a 6-man bike for me that we used in a Nike commercial that had the U.S. gold medal soccer team, ladies soccer team, right in a commercial. So whenever I have a special project, he's always my go-to guy. He's the guy that can accomplish the goal. There's one of the 4-man bikes. That one was actually on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh,
the TV show.
Tell me, wow, your connection with Robert Bellier was like he was
That's
your
circus bike.
Oh yeah, there's a circus one. Oh yeah,
this guy rides this bike with like 20 kids on it.
Damn.
So yeah, we've done some crazy stuff.
Wow.
Those are some bikes that I donate bikes to an air museum here locally in Chino, one of the best air museums in the world. And they have a public auction or a private auction once a year to raise money for their kids' education program. And I donate bikes for that. Human power vehicles.
Oh yeah, that's what I've seen. Oh man. Oh. And how fast have you gotten up to one of these?
That one didn't go very fast, but the one that my partners and I did after that one, Redshift 1, actually did about 53 miles an hour.
Damn.
Mini Lagoon is asking, how long is this bike?
Which one? The tandem?
This one, 4-man bike. That one.
I don't know the exact length, but it sticks out of my truck about 6 feet. And my truck bed is 5.5 feet long. So I would say it's about 12 feet.
It's about 3.5 meters, maybe, right?
It's pretty long.
Yeah. Well, at least you have 4 people on there. I only had
It's
one.
really long.
That's the 6-man bike that we built for the ladies soccer team, gold medal soccer team for Nike.
Damn.
That bike is actually in the Nike headquarters on display right now.
Oh, damn. That's
And
cool.
that's another frame that Robert Bellier built for me.
Oh, damn. And so there's a lot of connection. I hope you're on here, Robert, tonight. I think he said he was a little bit busy tonight, but like, I hope you're hearing this. I knew there was some connection here, and how you said like he was doing some stuff out of your shop as well, or is that kind of
Well, he and I started a shop together. We shared some space.
Right.
But he moved on to bigger and better things. He got a space of his own, and he's doing a lot of work out of that now.
Yes, and I think you mentioned something about
Jim Carrey on my little chopper.
Oh yeah, that's like a young Jim Carrey, or youngish.
2 seconds after this, he was on his butt. He went right over backwards on it and landed right on his butt.
Oh man.
That's Jude Law on a 3-man bike I built for him.
Oh damn! Really? You built some bikes for the stars? I see.
Oh, yeah. This was for a drag racer that I can't remember his name.
Lucas Oil Products.
Well, it's Lucas Oil was his sponsor.
Right.
But I can't remember. Anton or Aaron or.
Oh, that's cool. You did like little racing colors. That's cool. Oh yeah, these guys from Vegas. Yeah. This is Vegas guys. Pawn Stars. Yeah.
I was on the show with that bike.
Oh, were you like the expert or what?
No. They had me set up to go in and try and sell the bike.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, it's a bicycle. I didn't see that episode. They were trying to sell that one, a bicycle.
Yeah, that's actually a Brian Fuller chopper.
Oh, cool.
Oh man, I didn't even know that. I wanted to see that episode. I didn't see that episode where they tried. Did they sell it? Did they buy it?
No.
Oh. No, but what was it valued at? Like, what were they trying to get it?
He was trying to get it for like $900.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
That's it? And he didn't get
totally crazy.
Oh man. That's gonna get us into our subject in a little bit.
That bike there was in what do you call it? That movie with the big snakes, graboids and snakes and Tremors.
I don't know this one.
Tremors, yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Well,
and those are bikes I made for Radio Flyer, a movie.
Really? Oh yeah.
One of the bikes was called a hero bike because it was in all the shots. And the other 3 were called scrap bikes because those were the ones that were going to get jumped and broken and crashed, but they're all to look the same.
Wow! So it's like you built the doubles. You built triples, quadruples.
I built them all.
That's cool. It's like bike doubles. I didn't know. I didn't know there were bike doubles.
In the red.
Yeah, the Rat Rod. That's one of my favorite bikes right there. If you look at some of the close-up pictures, that's all made with tools. The tank is made out of tools. The rack is made out of tools.
Oh yeah. There you go. There we get it.
Made out of chains.
Oh yeah, really ratty. Yeah.
The most unique thing, if you move through the pictures, you'll see a chain guard. The chain guard is actually made out of chains.
The chain guard's on the other side, right?
Yeah. There, you can see it there.
Oh yeah, you can see. Oh yeah, look at those big fat chains.
That's actually a chain guard.
Oh really? Oh yeah, that's a chain guard. Oh.
And it has spikes all over it, and it's just it's just a fun bike.
Damn.
But I go every which way. I'm
the grips.
Multi-directional.
I like that. I like that one. That's cool. That's like totally rad. Like making it out of just all kinds of whatever in your garage, right?
Yeah. I actually had to go to the swap meet and buy some more tools.
Yeah. Well, you mean you're going to the hot rod swap meet, right?
Yeah,
You're going
yeah.
to that stuff. Yeah. That's where you get like bits. You're not like buying it brand new from AliExpress. You're going to like.
I wanted old, rusty, used parts.
Yeah, that's right. That's still the same.
I go to these hot rod swap meets not just to buy things, but I actually get a lot of inspiration from.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've been going to. I mean, I'm from LA too, and that Pomona hot rod swap meet. I mean, there's no other one anything like that I've ever been to in the world. I mean, that Pomona swap meet. I can take also the Long Beach, which is really way smaller than that one, but that Pomona. I don't know. I think I couldn't get through all the rows in 3 or 4 hours. I couldn't. You can't stop.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Yeah. That frame you're showing right there, Robert Bellier actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
He helped me weld that, but I welded most of that. He welded the hard parts, but I welded most of that. That was my design and his work, and he actually named that frame. It's called the Nightmare. The reason he called it the Nightmare was because getting into some of those little corners and angles and stuff was a nightmare.
Wow, look at the drop. I mean, the bottom bracket, I mean, how it sticks out of the frame.
It's a beautiful bike. You'll see another picture of it in there painted green.
Is that lightning bolt which comes on to Robert's designs? Is that was that somehow related to
trademark? There, that's what it looked like finished.
Oh yeah.
And I actually made a version of it. I actually made a second version of it with round tubes. And I actually like the round tubes better than the square tubes.
Yeah, it's going to come back. Round tubing after we've played out diamond tubing, I think round tube's going to come back again.
I agree.
But we still got some diamond profile. It is bad. It is awesome, and we still got some more to play with it. But yeah, I think round and square tubings are still both beautiful.
Yep.
Hey, I'm going through my notes about one more thing about what we were talked about. I know you mentioned that you had some connection with other people in our scene, but I think we crossed paths maybe a few years ago at the last OBC. I think we have you been to like an OBC before? Have you ever heard of the OBC?
I've been to a couple of OBCs. I really like that. When the first OBC they had, I missed that, but I saw the pictures of it. And at the time, I was working for Fat Cycles, and I thought, man, this is someplace we need to be. And
what happened? Yeah.
Well, things changed at Fat Cycles. He ended up selling the business, and it was just very confusing. We didn't know what was going to happen, so we ended up not going. And then I went out with Robert one or two times, and I was actually there when he got his John Brain Award.
Oh yeah, that's cool. To be there.
And I think that's the place to be right there. But I've also been on a lot of other rides, like the one down in Huntington Beach. I think you had your sidecar bike out there.
The HB ride with us or something like that, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, all right, yeah, that was an awesome one. Yeah,
I think you had your sidecar bike there. Actually, I think that was your first ride on the sidecar bike.
Yeah, it was. That's right. Yeah, it was a first ride, and that was a good day for a good ride. Oh yeah, don't let you giving me some goosebumps with that. Oh yes. Hey, Gary, let me, because we could talk. We want to try to get it within an hour, but it doesn't have to be. But I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the question of the week. I think we chatted about it, just leading into things. You mentioned. The question of the week was what can we charge for our work? I mean, what can we charge maybe for for a bike that a lot of people are coming into the scene, and they're starting to build. Like, all of us got excited. The cool thing about custom bikes is that you could start from like zero budget, right? And you could add things as your skills improve, as you get things going. You can. That's what's really cool about the bike game. So eventually people asking them, and then next thing you know, people asking them, hey, how much would you make me this bike for, right? And a lot of us, I want to go further because I know you made some good. I want you to bring them out, but like, a lot of us don't really know. Like, we think that we should just charge for, like, say, the materials and maybe our time. All right. And before we get into what our time's worth, we think that's what it's worth. It's nothing more than time and material, right? A lot of people think. I mean, I started off thinking like that, people, because it seems to be kind of how easy you can calculate. But of course, we never counted any of our creativity in there, and how much time we spent trying to be creative in the design or whatever. We never sort of really. So a kind of value for our work is really based on some limitation. What do you think about it, Gary? You've had some really interesting thoughts, and I don't want to break it out for you. What do you think?
Well, I think that most of the people that are doing these custom bikes are not taking into consideration their talent, their artistic talent. The value of a painting. Let's say you're getting a Van Gogh. You buy a Van Gogh now, you're going to pay millions and millions of dollars for it. That's what it's worth. You buy a Van Gogh back when Van Gogh was alive, you're going to pay Van Gogh to make a painting for you. You want him to paint your portrait. Okay. And he's going to tell you it's going to cost you $600 to paint your portrait. Well, he's not just charging for his time. He's charging you a certain amount for his talent. And that talent he has to assign a certain value to that talent. And he's going to assign that value based on how many people want him to paint your picture. And I think these bikes are the same thing. They are artistic statements as much as they are mechanical statements. And I've had this conversation with other custom builders where they charge a certain amount of money for their bike. And I'm like, you're crazy. That bike is worth way more than that.
Yeah.
So that's a unique, one-of-a-kind bike.
Yep.
You need to charge something for your talent, not just your mechanical ability. You're a great welder. You're a great mechanic. Okay, those have quantifiable numbers attached to them. Mechanics get $100 an hour. Welder's going to get $125 an hour, a good one. That's easily quantifiable. But how do you quantify the talent? And that's based on how much people want it, the desire for it. The desire for, let's say, Robert Bellier's bike is very high, way higher than the price would reflect. The prices on his bikes are way too low based on his talent. And I've told him that. But, he's still charging basically for the welding job that he's doing and the cutting and the bending. And I honestly don't think he's getting anything for his talent. And I just think that's wrong. I think all the builders need to somehow figure out what their talent is worth and get something for that. Because why does somebody buy a Robert Bellier's bike instead of Micargi bike? Not because it's built better, because it's better looking, because it's more stylish. And that has to have value. And I just think everybody is underestimating the value of their talent.
Okay, yeah. I mean, can I make a scenario that I thought about just to make it thought? Imagine if you're building your bike, and I'm asking everybody here, especially people in the beginning, who just don't have a lot of skill yet, but they like designed their bike and they did it nice or whatever. Maybe they're even a tattoo artist and they could like draw it out really nice. And then maybe they have to like technically draw it or something and then take it to a welder, right? And maybe even you have to like cut out all the tubing and get it, you know, all set up so that so the guy just welds, right? And it's the only thing he does. He doesn't come up, he doesn't cut it, he doesn't do anything. All he does is weld, right? And what's that guy going to get charged, right? So like,
well, in a case like that, you could go to any welder and they could build it for you. But there are other things involved in bicycles, and I've been dealing with this for years and years. There are designs that work and designs that don't work. I mean, mechanically, the wheels will spin and the handlebars will turn, but the bike rides like a piece of crap. So you need to have a certain basic knowledge of how bikes work before you can actually build a bike. So that's also got some value. But that's a quantifiable value. I mean, an engineer is going to get a certain amount of money for his time. Engineers, but
what about supply and demand? What about supply? You said supply and demand. Like, all right, Robert Bellier doubles his price. All right. I mean, is he selling any bikes now? Or are you thinking like, you know, he can double it? Yeah, he's worth way more. Yeah, he should be like way more. But nobody will buy it if it's double the price. Well, not nobody, but I mean, you know, our market is really small. I mean, I guess you might say like it needs to be bigger then, right? Our market, I just don't think our market's big enough.
I see companies like Fat and Micargi selling lots of stretch bikes.
I mean, custom stuff I'm talking, you know, I mean,
anybody,
I know.
anybody can customize that, but they're selling lots of them. I think the market is much bigger than you realize. It's much bigger than I ever thought it would be right now. You know, when I was first starting out, when I first saw Robert Bellier's bikes, I didn't think there was a market at all. And I've been shown that I'm completely wrong on that. And, you know, through my dealings with other builders and with other companies, I see now that it's much bigger than any of us realize, period. But there's two different markets. There's the custom market and there's the mass market. And custom builders are never going to build for the mass market. And the mass market is never going to build for the custom builder unless you do
could we not, Gary? I mean, I always thought like, why can't there be, you know, some of the more talented custom bike builders? Why not like these places like Fat or Micargi hunting down some of the more talented custom designers in our scene? I mean, wouldn't it be like even some of the cool bikes, like, you know, there's some bikes that are like Sam McKay's Fluid. It's probably the most highly sold bike in you know, in the custom scene. And, you know, there's quite a few. Why not? Why haven't like big companies come and approach any of the you know, more talented custom bike builders?
I would, now I'm just guessing here, but I would guess that they're more concerned with, number one, is it something they can build at a factory level, or is it too complicated, too complex to build at the factory? And the factories, pretty much all the factories are in China now, and they are used to building bikes a particular way. And I know when I was at Fat, when we came up with some unique aspect of a bicycle that we wanted to change, like the tank, for example, I would have to go personally to China and teach them how to build a tank. So it's difficult to get manufacturers, large quantity builders, to actually fabricate and produce large numbers of special bikes. So the talent that the builders have, the custom builders have, is hard to translate to factory output. Very difficult.
I mean, yeah, there's stuff like in my own particular design. There's like in that one over there, I never had intention for anybody ever to copy that bike in the background. Even like John Brains, which is right there. Any of those bikes, even all these, I don't think that it was never intention. They could try, but the whole point is I never in my mind thought like I'm gonna build a bike for the masses, right? And nothing was ever in my mind for how easy it would make, you know, China's job. And I think a lot, as like you said, a lot of builders are not thinking about what you know, China is going to be. I think if we put our head into that, we'd probably sell some more bikes. But you know, I think we want to be more unique and more cool. I don't really see how. That's where I feel like that's why we're never grown out of here, is because we never want to duplicate our stuff, right? It's cool like to get like an intro into it through Micargi or Fats and things like that. But you know, in the end, the custom bike is about being as unique as possible. You know,
exactly. Yes.
You know, so yeah, we tried. We tried.
And you know, that's the other limiting factor too. Is you want your design to be unique. You don't want it to be the same as everybody else's. So
that's right. I mean, so can we for people wanted to start off and say, okay, get me let's put some hard numbers in here. If somebody's watching here and said, look, no one's bought a bike for me, but somebody asked me yesterday, hey, they like my bike, I built it myself, and then what should I charge them? You know, should I charge them, you know, bicycle mechanic wages? I mean, I don't have any experience yet. I mean, I did it for myself. You know, somebody wants me to build them something. I don't know what I'm going to charge them. You know, what's my hourly? What's my, you know, what am I thinking in my head when I want to charge somebody?
That's a question that, I mean, that's going to be really hard to answer that question because
sorry about that.
I think the only thing you can do is take the stuff that you have and find out what it's worth. And if you don't want to sell what you have, then I don't think it's possible to come up with a price on something for that. I mean, aside from just assigning a value to the time and you know, mechanical ability, there's really no way.
Well, that's why I thought, like, for example, my idea was if you felt like, I as you say, quantifiable, at least the quantifiable end would be, all right, what is a good bike mechanic get? Bicycle mechanic, because that's what we were getting. We were like glorified bicycle mechanics, and they found our bikes in bicycle shops, and they want to pay us bicycle wages. You know, I mean, that's how, you know, why it's so low income. It's so low.
Mechanics don't make nearly as much as they're worth.
Hell no, they don't, man. It's really on the low end of like the, you know, the skilled kind of mechanical jobs, and that's what they thought. We were just kind of like a little bit better, like we were mechanics that could weld. I mean, that's basically what I felt like in the sort of 20 years I've been involved. They found their bikes there, and they always just wanted to come up and say, look, I'll give you like, what do you want? $8 an hour in the shop? I'll give you 10, you know? So I'm not looking at that kind of, but I say to people, start there. Put your, like, let's start $10 an hour. All right. Why $10? Because you know what? You're not having any experience yet. Let's start at $10 that you know how to fix a bike at very least. You could probably get a job in the bike shop, and you get paid $10 an hour. So like, all right. So whatever you spent on that, more or less, you put that on there. So $10 an hour times whatever. It took you 20 hours. You know, yeah. I mean, count your time officially, at least for the ability. And then custom materials, and you might say, well, you know, I got it all free. I got it on the street, and you know, that didn't cost me anything. Yeah, but it does. Actually, it does. I know it costs me every time. I got loads of free stuff, and some free stuff are more important than other free stuff. And you're going to put a value to that, right? So I think people need to put a little bit more than it was free, but more about like how much it's worth in sort of a project. You know, like it's worth a bike at least. It's worth, like, that bike is worth, you know, $50 or $100, you know, in its used value. So I kind of throw that quantifiable time. And then if you're an artist about this, and I'm saying to you, that's where you start. So after you find your price, your materials, I say double it.
Yeah.
Okay. that's all
Absolutely. You know, but there's so many people that there is one other group of people out there too. And that's the people that just love bikes. And the people that just love bikes would probably do it for free. Charges you for the materials, and then the rest of the stuff that they're doing it because they love doing it. It's their hobby, it's their sport, it's whatever. But Robert Bellier is one of those people that really loves what he does, and it shows in the end product. But because he loves it so much, I don't think he's as concerned with how much profit he makes. And I'm sure his wife would agree with me on this, that most of these guys, including Robert, don't make nearly enough for their talent. And
that's why he's awesome. That's why he's awesome, because he got more people into it. That's right. There's a lot of us that just get like, oh, come on, it's really easy to get in. Like, I think everybody sees that like the finishes on their bikes and, the extreme, like, so they get pulled, they got turned off. And they get turned off by people like throwing out, $500, $600, $700, and $900 frames, and people are like, what? But, I'm with you. I think all those numbers I just said, they should be doubled.
It would be nice.
Yes, buy them now, you guys. Buy them now. They're cheap, huh?
It would be nice. The bicycle industry itself has always been extremely undervalued. I've been in this industry for a long time, and I can't tell you how many times, we're talking thousands of times, I've heard the same thing from consumers. They'll walk into the store and they'll say, how much is this bike? I'll say it's $230. And they'll say, I can get the same damn bike at Kmart for $100. Why do you get $230 for your bike? They don't really care about that answer. They just want you to know that they could get the bike cheaper at Kmart or Walmart or wherever. And the difference in the bikes is tremendous. It's a huge difference. But you can't explain that to a person that believes that a bicycle is just two wheels, a chain, and handlebars. They're all the same to them. And I'd say a good 75-80% of the people out there buying bikes are of that mindset, of the mindset that prices of bicycles should be based on what they sell for at Kmart, not on what they should sell for. And I've experienced this thing on everything from parts to complete bikes, anything to do with bicycles. A derailleur. If you look at a derailleur on a 10-speed bicycle or a racing bicycle, I call them 10 speeds because that's where I grew up, but 21-speed bikes, whatever. That derailleur, the engineering and componentry and manufacturing that goes into that one part, that part should probably cost $100 if you compared it to electronics or a blender for your kitchen or, a alternator for your car. The amount of effort that goes into building that, the amount of parts that goes into building that should be $100 part. Nobody wants to pay more than $10-15 for it. That's it. Unless you're a racer, then you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on it. You know what it's worth. But the typical cyclist doesn't really understand how much effort, how much engineering, how much work there is involved in a real bicycle because they're buying at Kmart most of the time. So that's
Walmart.
it.
Walmart.
Yeah,
Walmart now.
Walmart.
Walmart.
This Mart, that
We've got
Mart,
Walmart now. Kmart too, I think. Yeah, it's Kmart as well.
But that's been a problem in the cycling industry for a long time, and that's something that you'll run up against more in the retail business than you do in the custom business. Custom people, kind of drop that a little bit, but it's still there. To some extent, it's still there. It still exists.
That's right. So I'm glad you've given us some kind of, because I'm still, I got my answer, and I did spend 20 years in and I got my price, and I know I feel a bit confident about what I can charge. But I really feel it for the new guys. I really feel like, hey, people want to buy my bike. What should I charge them? And like you said, they end up doing it for like, they undervalue their time, or they undervalue their materials, and at the end of the day, like, it started off with real excitement, and actually after they've done all the work, they kind of went like, wow, that was a lot of work, for $50.
Thank you, John. Those are good words. Thank you.
Oh, hey. Yeah, hey, John. Hey, John. What's up, John? Cool. Are you reading that? I need my glasses on. Huh?
He's got it big enough that I can read it. I actually need glasses, but my screen is big enough that I can see it.
All right.
Oh, fantastic. So, what do you think about the future of custom bikes? I know I feel like you. What do you feel about it?
It's going nowhere but up. I mean, I think everybody deep down wants to be an individual. They want to be different than everybody else, and they're all going to pick their way of being different. It's either going to be a custom car, it's going to be clothes, it's going to be a expensive purse from Gucci. You know, it's going to be something that makes them unique, makes them stand out from other people. And I think bikes are always going to be here, no matter. I mean,
oh yeah,
we can go to all electric cars. We can go to all, solar panels. Everybody can get the same thing, this, that, and the other thing. But when it comes to bikes are something that they're always going to be here. They're always going to work basically the same way. And whether they've got an electric motor on them or they're still pedal driven, or let's put a sail on a bike, it doesn't matter. The bikes will always be here. And as long as there are bikes, there are going to be people that make them their own. And as long as they want to make them their own, they're going to make custom bikes. So it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I think we should end it on that one. On that note, what do you think, BK? How do you feel?
Man, I feel that it's, as people are saying, we have some wins though tonight. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about, definitely. And unfortunately, our time is coming to the end, and I'm sure we could talk another hour with Gary here, and he got a lot to teach us. What?
I said maybe after the show.
Yeah, after the show. Yeah, we got a lot to learn with him, and yeah,
that's right. Amazing, huh? Wow.
Well, thank you guys for doing this. I mean, I really appreciate it, and I think everybody else should, show their appreciation in some way too, because having a conversation like this, even I think of things that I never even thought of before. While I'm saying it, I'm thinking of things that, hey, that makes sense, So, I mean, it's a good thing that you're doing. I like it, and I really appreciate you guys letting me be part of it.
It's our pleasure.
Oh man, thanks, man. That's cool. Thanks for coming on, Gary. And you're just too much. We're gonna have to make this like a 3-part series, like John Brain.
Anytime.
Yeah,
cheers, man.
During the weekly the week time show, maybe
we can
bring him back. We are planning new things to keep it going. So let's see. So thank you very much.
All right,
hope to see you soon.
All right.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, everybody, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening up there, man.
Yeah, and we have just to thank our friends.
Oh yeah.
Talk about Pedals Up podcast.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, every Thursday, Tony Vegas and Danny Son tearing it up with the bike life talk, man. These guys, they're nearly like their first year anniversary. They're going to like number 50 right now. I think the next one's 51. So really, you guys, let's keep these guys supporting these guys, man. These guys really giving it all their heart, and we need to all keep it talking, right, BK?
Yeah. And once again, that's very special thanks for Carmine. And thanks all our viewers that are here still with us, and every Sunday they are helping us to build the show, and it's really nice to have every single one with us along this difficult path.
Adventure. It's an adventure, yes.
Yeah, it is indeed. We are trying.
BK, you're awesome, man. You're awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Mike, to helping the show the way you are, and just let our friends know that we are planning new things, perhaps a shorter show during the week or 1 hour, I don't know, something with Make rolling the show. It would be really nice.
Yeah, well, we'll try it out. I don't know. Maybe there's more bike talk during the week. We're going to try a little bit different format. But you know what? Doesn't mean we're getting rid of this show, right?
No
Like,
way.
I love BK, man.
Yeah, all right. Okay,
He's not trying to get rid of me that easy, huh?
No, definitely not. So, all right. Thank you, guys. See you next weekend.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.